Inhale, come
Exhale.
forward to plank.
You had it right. It was exhale.
So inhale forward, exhale back.
Yep, that's right.
Cool. I always get. Good.
Oh, hey, so missed one thing right there. This is going to be the last little bit for you. Instead of
Okay,
folding
what is?
forward, there is the part. I'll let you try to figure it out. So we just did star catchers, palms together. Where are we going from there? Instead of a
Oh, did I skip Om? Is that next?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I knew I skipped something. All right, bring your hands together at your heart center.
There you go.
Close your eyes, and we're going to take this moment to set an intention. So in this time, you can really set an intention for what you want your practice to look like today. You can say a prayer for yourself or someone else. You can dedicate this practice to someone special. Just take a moment of silence here. Okay, we're going to set those intentions with one sound of peace, one Om. So take a deep collective inhale. All right, relax your hands by your side.
And pause there. Everyone give her a round of applause. Good job, Melody. Yeah, that was kind of unfair that you went first. Because you've been teaching dance, right? For how long?
Yep.
How long have you been teaching dance for?
I mean, not technically. I've only been teaching for a year, but it's on technically a lot more than that.
Right. So like my point is this is what's so cool. Like if you've been teaching before in some capacity, all you're doing I look at like the Matrix, he plugged in and all of a sudden he's like, I know Kung Fu. Like she's already been plugged in to teaching and now she's like, I know yoga. Right? And that's why it was so seamless.
And like body position, like specific teaching.
Yeah, exactly right. There was a more one-to-one relationship with what she's doing in dance to yoga, which is like, you can see how well it translates. So awesome job. Also, what I wanted to highlight is, did you notice how conversational she was? Mm-hmm. It seemed like she was kind of like just talking to us, and it wasn't like, it didn't seem scripted, right? And I think it's a function of you and just the experiences you've had teaching already. That's awesome because what that does for your students is it keeps them keyed in on, you just keep paying attention more and more because you're like, oh, the voice inflection changed. What's she saying now? And the voice is like, why is she saying this now? And like, it just keeps people more engaged. That's when I say you have a pattern, people are going to have a pattern and it's going to feel scripted to you. And then over time, the work is to get more conversational. And what's cool is that she's already kind of there with the conversational piece. Next, two things though, what I would help you out with is careful. There's a pattern you're developing and you're starting lots of your cues with go ahead and. Go ahead and do this, go ahead and do that, go ahead and do this. It's nothing negative about it, but I'm always keying in on patterns of speech that aren't necessary, and go ahead, you can just drop that and just tell them what to do, right? The last little bit, and it may have just been nerves, is slow the pace of the breath down in the beginning, right? Especially when you went to the inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Someone just finished over there if you hear everyone clapping. Slow it down and create more length for the inhale and more length for the exhale. I err on the side of like pushing people to slow it down more than to quicken it. And so just lengthen that out a little bit. And the last thing is, and this is for not just you, but for everybody, inhalations are an upward movement. Exhalations are a downward movement. What's challenging is that in the, sorry, I'm like talking to them, but what's challenging is that in the down dog, it does work because the upward movement is down dog, so that is, here's the point. Because it's more of a lateral, like it's not like a big sweep high inhale and a sweep low exhale, the way the other aspect of it is the exhale is on the exertion. It's kind of more of an exercise science thing. So we go inhale forward, exhale back because you're getting more of a stretch in the superficial back line. And so that's why we're kind of reversing it. You would think it's like, but it's an upward movement, it's an inhale. But it's kind of a lateral movement, and because we're focusing more on the stretch of down dog happening, and we'll exhale into that, versus the strength that's required for plank, which is an inhale. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the pulsing lunges always get me on that. I always want to exhale into the lunge and the pulsing lunges.
And because that's more lateral, you can actually do either one, honestly. So I would choose the one that feels most natural for you and just roll with that. Yeah. Cool. Awesome job, Melody. That was great. Woohoo! All right. How about Courtney?
I knew it. I could feel it.
It's because you're meditating.
Okay.
All right, and here, I want to express one last thing. This is a challenging experience because if Melody kept rolling, she has momentum. And now I'm asking you to just pick up right in the middle of all right, where are we?
I was totally like,
It's going to be challenging, and you'll get it, you'll pick it up. So my point is just acknowledging the shortcomings of this process. It's still good, but just know that if you're struggling, I understand that it's tough to just jump in the middle of a sequence and start teaching. Cool. All right, Courtney.
okay. So you can keep your arms to your side, palms forward. You can rotate your palms forward. Inhale, sweep your arms high. Palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway, hands to your shin. Exhale, long spine, forward fold. Keep your palms to your feet. Inhale, long spine. Bend your knees. And we'll float your right foot back. Strong in your thigh. Where am I? Oh, is it exhale, down dog?
Yeah.
Okay, exhale, down dog. You can walk your feet out, bend your knees. Keep your feet shoulder width apart. Hands shoulder width apart.
So Courtney, real quick, let me interrupt you. In this down dog, guys, you can drop your knees down. Everyone, you can chill for a second. Don't kill yourselves in down dog. In this down dog, it's more of a transitional, so we're going down dog to get to plank, right? To get into that,
Okay.
And so don't give too many alignment cues here. We'll save that for after the child's pose. because then it's like, okay, now spread the fingers, because that's where you're going to build it out more. And it's just a tempo thing. So you're doing great. Keep it up. But let's go back to lunge. Say exhale, back, down dog, and then just bring them straight forward into plank. Cool?
Okay. So inhale, down dog.
Hold on. Everyone get back to lunge real quick.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay. And then say inhale, and as you exhale.
Okay, inhale, and as you exhale, downward facing dog.
There you go.
Ground your hands, and as you exhale, go forward to plank.
Inhale, forward to plank.
Oh, my bad.
That's all
Inhale, forward to plank.
That's why we're doing it.
Exhale, back to down dog.
Already did that. Now it's right into we're basically doing a modified step back salutation. So you come forward to plank, and then where are you going to get to?
Back to lunge.
Cobra.
Okay.
So you're going to lower all the way down.
Okay, lower all the way down to your belly, forehead to the mat. You can untuck your toes as you inhale,
Yep.
baby cobra.
Yep, exactly right. Nice. Give us just a couple alignment cues.
Do what?
Just give a couple alignment cues. Inhale, baby cobra. Perfect. Now, what do you want to do with their feet and legs?
Untuck your toes. You can tighten your thighs.
There you go.
And then exhale, forehead to the mat.
Perfect. Keep it rolling.
Inhale to all fours. Are we going to child's pose after this?
Yeah.
I'm confused. We are? Okay, cool.
What were you confused about?
I think I'm just confused because I didn't start, so I'm like, where am in my brain? Like, where are we kind of thing.
Yep, step back salutation 1. So right foot back, left foot back to down dog, and then you're just doing that modified step back salutation.
Okay.
Cool.
So inhale, you can go back to all fours. Exhale, you tuck your toes, go back to down dog.
Mm-hmm. And now this is where you would build it out and start giving some cues of alignment, basically vertical stabilization.
Okay. So you can go ahead and pedal your feet. You can bring your hips left and to the right. If your heels are to the floor, go ahead and lift your heels high, hips high. Shift your gaze forward. Exhale, lift your right foot high. And then take your right toe to your right thumb. Forward, lunge.
Yeah, right foot to right thumb.
Right foot. What did I don't even know what I said.
It's all right. You said your right toe to your right thumb.
Go ahead and pop up to your fingertips. Keep your back leg strong. Exhale. Inhale, your left foot meets the right.
There you
Hold on, you probably can't hear me.
Cool.
Exhale.
Yep. Exhale, forward fold. You got it.
Go ahead and put a little bend in your knees. Rotate your palms forward. Go ahead and inhale, arms high. Utkatasana, chair.
Not
Right?
quite. Sweep all the way up to standing. We'll get chair happens after the first step back salutation.
Okay.
So sweep high and then go right to.
And then exhale, forward fold.
There you go.
Inhale, long spine, half lift. Bend your knees. And now your left foot is going to float back. Strong leg. Strong in that front foot as well. Lift your hips you'll go ahead and straighten your right leg
Mm-hmm.
up into pulsing lunge. You can use blocks if you need to, pop up onto your fingertips, or you can have your palms on the mat. Go ahead and exhale, forward lunge. Good. Inhale, straighten that left leg. Exhale, forward lunge. Inhale, hips back. Keep the legs straight. Inhale for the last time, forward lunge. And step your right foot back. We'll go back into down dog. Inhale, forward to plank.
Awesome, Courtney. Keep it rolling.
I'm trying.
You're doing good.
Exhale all the way to your belly. Forehead to the mat. You can untuck your toes. The baby cobra. Go ahead and push up. You can take downward dog if you want to.
Did you
If
mean?
not, you can stay.
Did you mean
What?
up dog?
I did. Yep. Don't go into down dog.
Yeah, and don't go into up dog just yet. Just start cueing just a bigger cobra. Basically, you're saying you can
Okay.
feel free to lift the heart a little higher if you'd like.
So feel free to lift your heart a little higher if you like, and all the way. Good. Come back down, forehead to the mat. Where are we now?
So last time you pressed up into a modified plank position. How would you increase the intensity this time? You'd press up into what?
Full,
There you
to a
go.
full.
Yeah.
So inhale at the bottom of your exhale, go all the way to a full plank. And press up. Keep your core strong, legs strong. Go ahead and inhale. Exhale, back to down dog. We'll take one more inhale here. And one more exhale here. Lift your heels high. Inhale your left leg now, sweeps high.
Mm-hmm.
You're forward into lunge. Left foot to left thumb. We'll do pulsing lunges on this side now. So hips back, legs straight. And then exhale, back into lunge. Again, you can use blocks here if you need to. Pop up onto your fingertips. Inhale, legs straight. Exhale into lunge. Inhale, legs straight last time. Inhale, forward to lunge. This time as you exhale, we're going back to down dog.
Ooh.
Inhale.
Hang tight. So you went from down dog to lunge. That means you're going to continue going to. Because you're almost done with step back sal 1.
Right. So we're not going to down dog? Or
No.
You want me to go to forward fold?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So step your right foot forward to meet the left into forward fold.
There you go.
You can catch your arms here, elbow to elbow, sway side to side a little bit. Oh. Inhale, wait. Palms forward.
There you go.
Your inhale, sweep high. Hands together. Palms to heart center.
So now you just finished step back sal 1, and there's 2 things you do out of the house that will bridge you into step back sal 2.
I know I end with chair.
There you go.
I feel it.
That's right. You're right. But what's before that?
I don't know. 5 inches. 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 5 without doing it?
Do it real quick. Do it real quick. 'Cause I'd rather you figure it out, just because.
Oh, wait. Are we back bending?
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Okay.
Because you struggling with it just for a minute is going to help hardwire it more into your brain so you'll never forget it again.
Right. Okay. So now we're going to prepare for back bend. You can spread your feet apart about 5 inches. If you put your knuckles together, that's about 5 inches. You can, if your back is a little tense, go ahead and put your palms to your back to support your low back. If not, just go ahead and bring your gaze to the ceiling and start bringing your hips forward into that back bend. We'll hold it for 4, 3, 2. As you exhale, go ahead and go back to center. Inhale. Wait, hold on. That's supposed to be an inhale back to center.
Yep, do it again. Go back to the back bend.
So go ahead and go back to your back bend. Keep your hands to your back if you need to. And then exhale to center.
Inhale to center.
Inhale to center.
There you go.
Exhale, Utkatasana chair. Beautiful.
Okay, let's pause there and give her a round of applause. Good job, Courtney.
Thanks.
So with where you are right now, I feel, and I think it was also a function like what you said, because you jumped right into the middle, like not really the middle, but it was like in the middle of step 1, right? Because we just now are like, we're kind of bridging it. You did the warm up. I think you would have had more of a flow to it. But what was cool is that even in the middle of it, all of a sudden, right after the first step backs, the right side, like the left side was seamless, and you started picking up the momentum with it. So it just indicates to me that you know what you're doing. What I feel like is what you're tripping up on is the breath synchronization with the movement. And there's 2 ways of really approaching that. One is you can just scrap it initially and just be like, right foot steps back to lunge, ground the hands, heart forward. Left foot steps back to down dog, come forward to plank, lower all the way down to the belly. Like, it's not ideal, but it's to get the movements wired in and to know like where they're going may be beneficial. I'm not suggesting that for you, but I wanted to throw it out there to everyone as an opportunity that maybe if you're like super struggling with the breath, just drop it for right now, because it can be still really effective for people as you just step back and do your thing. But with the breathing, and the other option is just to struggle through it for a little bit, because it's not totally off, you know? And so my feeling for you is just keep working through it. And one of the caveats to that is like Neil talked about it with the pulsing lunges thing. There's not a right or wrong, because check this out. So what I said last time was like, the exhale for this was on the stretch, the exertion of down dog, right? So we come inhale forward, exhale back. Well, if you look at pulsing lunges, what happens is it's on both sides. Like in the lunge, the exertion is working the left quadricep and the hip, right? And then on the hips lifting, it's the hamstring of the other leg. So the question is like, well, I'm exerting on both sides, so why would I inhale on one versus exhaling on the other? So the way I approach it is I link the breath so that the next movement becomes the seamless way of doing it. And so my point is I'll go inhale forward, exhale back. I could literally say exhale forward, inhale back, and it doesn't really matter, quite honestly. But I know if I'm doing a pulsing lunge on this side and my next movement is back to down dog, that's an exhale. So the way I approach it is inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale step back, downward facing dog. Does that make sense? So then it's just linking the next movement so I know. And then I hold to that. So where you'll get tripped up on the next piece is, okay, I do that. Inhale forward, exhale back, inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, I know it's the inhale is a step up, so I give it a half beat. Inhale forward, exhale and hold. Inhale, right foot floats up. Exhale and forward fold. So you have two ways of looking at this. Just stick to the pattern that is the pattern, right? You can just do inhale forward, exhale back, and just roll with it. Or you can just do that half beat, like I said. Does that make sense? Everyone catching what? Like, there's just a little nuance that I wanted to show everyone. And really, the main point was, yeah, exactly. And the main point is that it doesn't matter in that instance, right? Cool.
And I think I just was like pausing just enough that like I wasn't remembering where I was in it.
Yeah.
Like, as I got faster, I would not trip up as much.
Yeah, exactly. And we noticed that like midway through the step back salutation. The one pattern that I'm noticing, and it may just be just a nuance of being nervous in front of this, is you'll start a lot of your phrases with you can reach the arms high, you can fold forward, you can just drop that.
Okay.
Yeah, just notice it. A lot of times the pattern initially, if you didn't notice it, I'm just here to let you notice it, and then you can start working on not saying it. But it's good. I mean, honestly, Courtney, you're off to the races with it. Just keep working the process, keep teaching, and all the little hiccups that happened, that's just going to work itself out. I don't really have a whole lot there's something systemically wrong, or you need to do this or that. It's like you got it. You just needed more momentum and more time, and that's just one of the shortcomings of this exercise.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Let's have Becky. Okay, so you're in step back salutation 2. Let's do this. Let's start them with a standing back bend and into chair, so you have a little bit of momentum getting into the second step back salutation.
Okay. All right, so we are going to come into an easy back bend. You can bring your hands to your lower back and arms lifted if that's comfortable. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, just slightly lean back, bracing through your midsection and lifting your chest up high. And hold for one breath in, and then exhale, lift the chest, come to standing upright. And as you exhale, hips back, Utkatasana, chair pose.
Nice.
Inhale. Now exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Lift the chest, and then slight bend in the knees. Exhale and step your left foot back.
Ooh, so
No?
nope. It's all right. We're on the right side of step back sal 2.
Right side of step back. So
So it'll just be the other foot.
So we're stepping back on right foot. Is that what you mean?
Yep, exactly right.
Okay, just kidding. Step your right foot back. All right, so strong in the legs. You can lift your chest. And then exhale back to down dog, hips high.
Not yet.
Nope.
Oh, so it's all right. You're jumping into the middle. So what is the element? We just did a standing back bend in a chair, and that sets us up for a very specific pose that we do when we step the right foot back in step back sal 2. It's a multi-joint repetitive movement.
Okay, so pulsing lunges.
We already did that on the left side of the first step back sal. So now and I'm purposely not telling you because I want you to struggle with it a little bit. I know it's insidious, but it's
struggling.
And everyone else, if you're in a lunge holding it, you can take a break, relax for a second, don't kill yourselves. So your lunge, but it's not a regular lunge.
So we hold it.
It is. You're gonna sweep.
Oh yeah, okay. So ready the legs.
There you go. It's called sweeping crescent lunges. There you go.
Yes, okay.
Okay, cool.
So ready the legs, ready the core, and then sweep your arms back, lift your chest high. And then keeping the knees bent, we're gonna inhale, lift arms high, open through the chest, little back bend, exhale, lower forward, sweep arms behind. And inhale, chest high. Exhale, chest lowers. Next time, inhale, and we sweep to the highest. Exhale, release hands to the mat. And then we'll step back to down dog.
Oh, this is the first time. This is a nuance. I apologize. It's not down dog. You're going straight to
Oh, okay. So to plank.
Yes, yes, because
Okay,
this is
so
momentum.
step back to plank.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna do something a little different this time. So take a breath in, exhale, and lower to chaturanga. Right, and then push back up.
Yeah, there you go.
And then exhale, release all the way to the mat.
Yes.
All right, so untuck the toes. You're gonna press your toenails into the mat, squeeze your thighs. We're gonna come to a full up dog this time, so draw your hands back a little. And this time, press higher, finding that back extension, lifting the chest up, racing through the midsection, pulling the jaw back. And then exhale to down dog.
Yes, nice. Keep it going.
All right, inhale, hips high, heels high. Sweep your right leg, right?
Yep.
Right leg high. And bring your right foot to your right thumb. And this time we hold it, right?
But there's a pose that we're doing. It's a variation of.
Side forward.
Yes.
Okay. Now exhale, hips lift high. We're going to straighten the front leg, squeezing through the thigh. Going to find a nice stretch. If you want to push your chest forward and open through the heart, and then tip forward to get a little deeper stretch. And then bend the knee, coming forward to your lunge to release. Mm-hmm. I feel like we're supposed to step forward next.
I would go with that feeling.
Okay, cool. Step your left foot forward into
Yes.
a forward fold.
Nice. So this is what's cool, Becky, is that now all you have to do is repeat it on the other side.
If I remember what I just did. All right. Inhale, rotate palms forward. Come to standing. And hips back to chair pose. Exhale.
Not the end of the world the way you just did that. You could do it every single time, but from this point, it's going right to chair.
Chair pose, right?
Yeah. It's okay. Let's do this. Let's forward fold, and we'll just so you can wire it in the cueing of it. But literally, like, did it matter if she swept high and then did chair? No, it doesn't matter. But for sake of efficiency and effectiveness, yeah.
I realized I did it after I said it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so inhale, Utkatasana, hips low, chest high. Then exhale, forward folds. Inhale, long spine. And exhale, step your left foot back. See, I already forgot.
It's okay. Sweep. I'll say one word, you'll get it. Sweeping.
Yes, thank you. Okay, ready your legs, ready your core.
Isn't that crazy?
And lift your chest, sweep your arms back. All right, now inhale, sweep high. Exhale, sweep low. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, chest lowers. And inhale, sweep to the highest reach you can get to. Exhale, hands release into plank position. This time coming to the full chaturanga flow. Exhale, lower chest, elbow height. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg sweeps high. And step your left foot to your left thumb. Now take a moment here, press the hips back, straighten the front leg, squeezing through the thigh, pulling chest forward, feeling that nice stretch. And exhale, or inhale, release to your lunge. And exhale, right foot steps forward. No.
Yeah, right foot steps forward. You couldn't hear. Yeah, sorry. She said it right. Right foot steps forward.
Sorry, they got loud over there.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought I was right.
No, you were right. They got loud in the room over there. Keep her down. I'm going to pause you there and let everyone give you a round of applause. Becky, that was awesome. This is what I love. This is what, it's like you know it, and the moment I think of it as like, you know the wind-up toys? Like you wind them up, but sometimes they just get stuck. And all you have to do is like a little push, and it's like, boom! That was like your experience. I said sweeping, and you were like, oh yeah, ready the legs, ready the core, exhale, sweep the arms back, inhale, sweep high, exhale, sweep low. And it was like, you just rolled through it. And I think really, The only the only hiccup was starting in the middle of step one, and like not having the momentum of going before. You know it, the cues are there, your breathing patterns right on. I mean, the only so whatever you're doing, keep doing it because it sounds good, your voice. Are you a teacher? Yeah? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So if you ever wanted to teach yoga, be a teacher first and then jump into yoga and you're going to be great. So keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome. My one thing is where your next level is then giving more detail with mountain pose. Right? So now you've got the basic body position, you're teaching them effectively with the breath, synchronization of the movement, and then once you're in it, now it's like, ribs back, tail down, heart lifts, little things like that. That'll just give more texture to your class. Cool? Yeah, and kind of to that point, when you taught, and I want to make sure, because like when I teach certain things like Utkatasana, my pattern is very specific, and I say it every time, which is exhale and fold. Bend the knees, lower the hips, inhale, arms sweep high, chair. And what I would add is just a little more detail for your transition into chair. I think you said lower the hips, lift the heart. If you had new people, they would not know exactly where to be. So just add some more detail, and whatever detail you add, make it a pattern, because we do want certain things to be like, this is what I say when I say this, and just more detail to that transition. Cool? Awesome job. Awesome job. You're welcome. Okay, so now we are officially done with step one, and now we're going to do step two. And I would like Elizabeth to take it.
Thank you for this opportunity, Christopher.
You're welcome. You're so gracious. You're so welcome.
All right. So are we starting from chair pose?
Yeah.
Or from standing?
Let's do this. Let's go start from a forward fold. You teach through chair and then take it from there.
Okay. So forward fold. And then bend the knees, lower the hips, sweep your hands high into Utkatasana, chair pose. Then forward fold and step your right foot back.
Well, okay, so right here, we're done with the step backs.
Oh, so now we're going to do our first jump back.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so we'll prepare for our first jump back. You may need to step your feet back a little bit, or you might want to just keep them right where they're at. I want you to ground your hands, and I want you to seal your core. Set your shoulders down your back, and with your next exhale, you can either step, jump, or walk back into Chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. With an inhale, sweep your right leg high. Right foot moves forward to meet your right thumb. Step your left foot flat. You may want to angle it forward just a little bit. And sweep your upper body and your arms high into warrior one. In this pose, that front leg can bend as much as you need it to. Hips should be pointing forward if you can. Chest pointing forward. Shoulders down your back. Hands shining high. Gaze forward. Take one full cycle of breath here. Settle into the pose. And then sweep into warrior two. So take a moment. You may want to readjust your leg stance. You'll want your foot to be parallel to the back of your mat. Sink your hips down a little bit lower. Make sure that right knee is trending over your right toes and that right hand is shining over your right foot as well. Spine high, gaze forward over that right hand. With an inhale, flip your right palm to the ceiling. Lean forward just a slight and then back. Sweep your hand high into reverse warrior. That left hand can come down onto the back of the thigh if you need it to, making sure that right knee stays bent. And then I want you to windmill your hands down into the mat. Lift that right heel high and take your twisting lunge. So left hand flat on the mat. Stack your right shoulder over your left. And when you're ready, extend that right hand to the ceiling. Gaze can follow if your balance allows. Left foot pointing straight back, pushing into the space behind your mat. Take one full cycle of breath here, and then bring your right hand to the mat, step back into plank, and then take your flow. Chaturanga, into upward facing dog, and exhale into downward facing dog. Now with an inhale, your left leg sweeps high. Left leg then floats forward to meet your left hand. From this lunge, set your right foot flat, and you may want to keep it angled up just a little bit, and then rise your body up into warrior one. Keeping that left knee pointing towards your middle toes. Right leg strong, straight and true. You may have to work on your stance a little bit here. Gaze forward, shoulders set, and hands shining up. You may raise your gaze at the last minute if you like. And then transition into warrior two. So again, hips can sink a little if you're ready. Adjust your feet so you can settle into that pose. Left fingers shining over your left leg. Now flip that left palm and shift into reverse warrior. Right hand can come down the back of the right thigh if you like. And gaze goes up to your left fingertips. One full cycle of breath here. And then windmill your arms down to the mat. Shift that right heel forward, and we'll take our twisting lunge on this side. So right hand into the mat. Shift and stack that left shoulder over your right shoulder. And then, if your body will allow, let that left hand float up to the ceiling. Gaze can follow to your left fingertips, if you like. Take a nice deep breath in. With your exhale, take your left hand down to the mat. Shift your left leg back into plank. And take your flow into chaturanga, upward facing dog, and then exhale, downward facing dog. With a deep inhale, shift your right leg to the sky, and then shift your right foot to your right thumb, and rise into warrior one. Take one deep breath here, and exhale into warrior two. Now straighten that right leg, stretch your right hand to the front of the room, and gently tip into straight leg triangle, Trikonasana. That right hand can come either to your ankle, your shin, or a block, or the floor, whatever you choose. Shifting that left hip back, that right hip forward, almost as if you're squeezing your body between two panes of glass.
Pause. You're doing great. Pause right there. The only, so you went right into jump back warrior style 2, correct? Right? So we finished it.
I did. Was I not supposed to?
And no, you can, well, in the script it's jump up again and then jump back. I just wanted to, it's totally fine. Now, if you skip a jump back and a jump up, it's not going to kill anybody, and you can do it. In fact, if you find that at some point it's a time issue, then you can skip that second jump up and jump back and just roll right to it, right? So I want to just pause just as a earmark to highlight that you missed the jump up and jump back, but also to point out that, like, listen, if you didn't do it, it's okay. There's nothing myofascially that's off. You just missed one dynamic movement of a jump up and a jump back. And more importantly, you can see me. And more importantly, if you had students who you were like, yeah, they're not really a jumping type, you could literally just skip it and just continue the flow inside the house and not exit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I want to, let's do this. Let's go back, and I'm going to have you do a jump up, and because then I'm going to let someone else take over.
Okay. So we are going to come into downward facing dog. However you want to get there is fine. Dealer's choice. And from downward facing dog, we'll prepare for our first jump up. So bring your feet close together. Firm your hands. seal your core, set your shoulders, and at the end of your next exhalation, when you're breathless, you can either jump, step, or float up to forward fold. And you can just hang out in forward fold as long as you want. It's one of my favorite positions. You can grab elbows. Is that where you wanted me to stop, Chris?
No, I want to see just the chair transition.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
I was
okay.
trying to make...
No,
Okay.
you're good.
So from forward fold, bend your knees, drop your hips, sweep your arms high, and come into your chair pose, Utkatasana.
Perfect. Round of applause. Yeah, Elizabeth, you rock. You have a beautiful voice, by the way, and not just like beautiful, but like it's very articulate. You know, you're very precise in the way you speak. It's awesome. You're obviously dialed in, right? You guys know, like, it was like you forget. Like, you're just everyone literally was just like, oh, I'm just practicing in a yoga class. It was awesome. So the one thing right now, just in that little short snippet that I could help you with, is the breath synchronization as much as possible. And this is what I mean. You have it like in spades for most of the time, but there's in step 2, because there's so much dynamic movement happening, as much as you can, I want like to bookend the breath, meaning you start with an inhale and then the exhale transitions you into another pose. And you have it most of the time, but like in, there was a couple, like reverse warrior. So rotate the left palm up and reverse and I think you even said inhale, reverse the warrior. So then you build it out, right? Ground the feet, engage the core. You're giving awesome vertical stabilization cues. You're giving awesome like technical aspects in the pose. Then focus on from here, before you say strong core, and windmill the hands down. And the reason it highlights is because you have it in most places. So from here, once you get like ground the feet, strong core, long left side body, at that point when you're done giving the cues, the next cue is inhale. As you exhale, windmill the hands down, spin the back heel high. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And then sometimes we can cue too much and it'll make the experience choppier. And where you're doing that is after your twisting lunge, like you're building it out, you're teaching it awesome, take an inhale. As you exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. And it depends on the level of your students. Some of them are going to need to know, inhale, as you exhale, ground your left hand down, step your left foot back to plank, and then lower. Over time, when you build a community of students who know your flow and know you can literally say, inhale, and as you exhale to plank. And they're going to figure out exactly how to get there. And in fact, it'll keep the tempo going better because then you don't have to, sometimes our cueing, while it's important, can chop up the tempo because it's too much like from here, where was it? It was like spin the back heel high, square the hips off, inhale, as you exhale to plank. When you could really just say inhale, as you exhale, ground the hands, step back to plank and flow. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, so think of bookending the breath. Start with an inhale so that the next movement is the transition to the next, the next breath is the transition to the next move, to the next pose. And you're rocking and rolling, you're off to the races. That's it. Really just start working the breath synchronization more. And even like in what just came like when you're going, so you have, what do we do? Where are we? Here, and then here. Inhale. As you exhale to plank and chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog, and as you exhale, downward facing dog. Just be real, like consistent and religious with that flow. What'll happen is like, especially here in the middle of 2, people are like, well, I've said it, they know how to do it, but it's not so much that you're telling them something they don't know how to do as it is keeping the tempo of you synchronized with their movements so there's this cohesiveness throughout the class. Yeah, you're welcome. That was awesome. All right, so we are in a forward fold. And Kelly, would you teach for us, please? So we are in, I want to give you the heads up. So we are in Jump Back Warrior Salutation 2.
Everyone that was reading this, were you just going off of memory or reading from the script?
I hope they were going from memory. Because that's the idea. And I'll help you out. I'll help you through it. Okay, let me ask you a question. Are you familiar enough with the sequence to roll through it? Do you know what poses are in the Jump Back Warrior Salutation 2?
No.
It's okay. So I'm going to give you that. And I'll tell you. So you're going to do a jump back. And then from your jump back, you'll do a flow, right? Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Then the poses are Warrior 1, Warrior 2, straight leg triangle, reverse triangle, extended side angle, low lunge prayer twist. I'm going to help you out as you go through it, but I think for some people, like if you're just lost in the beginning, let me show you the path, and then I'll help you walk that path. Sound good?
Okay.
So
I'm gonna need a lot of help.
No problem. That's why I'm here. Cool?
All right.
So right now, your focus is on chair and a jump back into the flow. Focus on nothing else, okay?
Okay.
And Kelly, if you need right now to do the movements with them as you're teaching it, go ahead and do that if you feel like it's going to help trigger the cues for them.
Okay. So, all right, we're into forward fold, and we're going to go into chair.
Yep.
All right, so extend the arms and sit into your knees, Utkatasana chair.
And then forward fold.
Exhale, forward fold.
Awesome. Now set them up for a jump back.
All right, so we're setting up for a jump back. So ground the hands, seal the core, and take an inhale. At the bottom of your exhale, walk, jump, or float back.
It's all right. Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
Then you would inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog.
Awesome. Okay, now Warrior 1 to Warrior 2 on your right side.
Okay, inhale, lift the heels high, extend the right leg high. Exhale, bring the right foot to right thumb. Into lunge.
Left heel.
Or
You got it.
left.
Everything's perfect. Yeah. Just got to position that back foot for Warrior 1. That's it.
Inhale, ground the left foot. Ground the left foot and shoot.
It's all right. Inhale up
Inhale up,
to
Warrior 1.
There you go.
And exhale,
open.
back open into Warrior 2.
Yes. Nice. Okay, so Warrior 1, Warrior 2, got it. Now teach them into straight leg triangle.
Okay, with an inhale, straighten your front leg. With an exhale, tilt forward, straight leg, straight tilt forward, and bring your right hand to the block, shin, foot, or floor into straight leg triangle.
Nice. Rocking.
Extend your left hand to the sky, gaze up to the sky.
Perfect. basic body position. Don't worry about anything else. Now teach them into reverse triangle.
Okay, inhale, come into lunge, bend the right knee, and exhale, extend back into reverse triangle.
Gotcha. Let's go back to straight leg triangle, everyone, just for a second. I want to help clean that up. It's super simple, because where you're going is you want to help protect that lead leg. So just put a slight bend in the front knee, exhale, as you inhale, reverse the triangle. Cool? And then everyone, wait till she does that, and then let her teach you through it, everybody. Okay.
All right.
Rock and roll.
Put a slight bend in the right knee. Inhale, reverse the triangle, and sweep high.
Nice. Do you know what pose is next? Extended.
No. Or extended right angle.
Side angle. Awesome. You got it.
Side angle. All right. Exhale. You want to bend the right knee?
Yes, you do. Awesome.
So bend the right knee and come onto your forearm and extend the left hand overhead for extended side angle.
Awesome. That's the basic body position. Do you know how to tell them how to deepen it?
To deepen, you can bring your arm to the floor. Extend your arm to the floor. Your right arm to the floor.
Yep. Awesome. Next pose, do you know what it is? It's the next level of twist.
Prayer twist?
Yeah, that's it. How do you get them there?
All right, so exhale, windmill the hands down to the floor.
Nice. Neil just showed you.
Yeah, Neil's helping.
Good.
Thank you, Neil.
Good. No, it's okay. Students, this isn't, I'm allowing it because students will do that for you. You're not going to go into class where there's all raw beginners that have never done it before. If you do, you need to be on your mat practicing. So so it's cool. Like you'll be able to watch your students. They'll help you out if you're in a room where there's a bunch of people who practiced before. Cool. So spin the back heel high. That's where you are.
Okay, so spin the back heel high and lower your left knee down to the floor.
Yes.
And bring your hands to heart center.
Yeah, sweep the arms high first.
Sweep the arms high. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Inhale, prayer twist to your right.
There you go. And from here, you got it. It's super simple as far as the basic body position. What's some vertical stabilization that you could tell them?
So bring the make sure the knee is in line with the ankle.
Yeah, that's it.
And you can, to deepen, you can tuck the left toes.
And do what with that leg?
And straighten it.
Awesome. And now you've held them there for a while, so let's start thinking about transitioning them out.
All right, exhale, lower back down to your knee, untuck the toes, bring the hands down to the ground.
Step back two.
Step back down to downward facing dog.
Or plank.
Or plank.
And let's say step back to plank, and then give me the cue and the breath for your chaturanga flow.
So inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog.
Awesome. So here's the beauty of your step two. When you know the right side, all you have to do is repeat it on the left side. So just as a refresher, you're going to go warrior 1, warrior 2, straight leg triangle, reverse triangle, extended side angle, low lunge, prayer twist. Ready? Let's do it.
Inhale, hips high. Inhale, hips high, heels high. Extend the left leg and bring the left foot to left thumb. Inhale, warrior 1, or ground the right foot,
Yes.
warrior 1, and lower into warrior 2,
Nice.
or not lower, lengthen,
Open.
open
There you go.
up to warrior 2.
There you go.
Bend into your left knee. Exhale. Inhale, straighten the left leg.
There you go.
Exhale, tilt forward and bring your left hand to the shin block or floor.
Nice.
Foot or floor.
Yep.
Extend your right arm to the sky for extended side angle. Exhale. With an inhale, tilt, come back up, and extend back for extended side angle.
Reverse triangle. Reverse triangle.
Reverse triangle.
Yeah, that was an awesome transition. Just forgot the pose. All good.
Okay.
Next pose.
Now we're going into extended side angle.
Yes.
So,
Bend the front knee.
bend the front knee, come onto your forearm, or to deepen, you can bring your hand to your left hand to the floor.
Yep.
Exhale, inhale, come back, or no, windmill the hands down to the floor.
Yes.
Exhale, lower the right knee down to the
Awesome.
floor, untuck the toes. Inhale, sweep the hands high.
Awesome.
Exhale, prayer twist to your left.
There's momentum.
Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, we're coming back up to lower the hands down to the floor, tuck the toes under, press up and back to your lunge. And we're going to downward facing dog.
No, right back to.
Chaturanga.
Yes, so step back to plank and.
Step back to plank in chaturanga.
Yes.
Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog.
Awesome. That's right side and left side. Now, you've done a jump back to get into it. Now you're doing a what to get out of it?
Jump up.
Yes.
Jump up. All right, so ground your hands to the core. Take an inhale. At the bottom of your exhale, walk, jump, or float up to the top of your mat. Forward fold.
Awesome. Everyone give her a round of applause.
That was rough.
Kelly, yeah, but it wasn't as rough as you think. Literally, I mean, this is what's so fascinating to me. I'm floored every time it happens. All you needed was just a little push, and towards the end, you basically taught the last 3 poses all by yourself perfectly. All basic body position, sweeping high, breath with it. It was all it is, for you, all it is just knowing the sequence. That's it. If I were you, your training from here on out is taking the the document on Vinyasa Poses 60-minute class on page 9 of the Vinyasa breakdown, and just looking at the poses and then teaching through each little segment at a time. That's it. Because you know it, and that it was evident that you just needed like little jump starts here and there. And so just keep going with, like, keep learning. So my point is, all it is just getting the sequence wired in, which is what pose is coming to what pose, because you already have in here the verbiage of how to get people through the poses. So like you are not as far away as you think from making this a seamless, fluid experience. Cool.
So you said that's the Vinyasa flow on page 9?
Page 9 of Vinyasa breakdown. If I were you, because all you need is a little jump start of knowing what is the sequence, and then you just teach through it, right? And then I would go back without looking at it and teach the same sequence, the same way you just did. All it is just getting more flight time without looking at the script, because right at this point, here's my bigger point, right now the script is holding you back. It's not going to help you anymore. So I would let that go. You can reference it here and there, but this is what I would teach from, because the struggle you just experienced is going to be your quickest path to getting this sequence down. Keep at it. It's awesome. Okay. You did great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean that sincerely. All right, we have one more jump back warrior salutation. Let's have... hold on real quick. Mia, let's have you knock it out.
Where I am really quickly.
It's okay, I got you. So we just jumped up, and now we're in the pinnacle flow, the pinnacle sequence of your step 2, jump back warrior salutation 3. Are you confident in the sequence? Do you know where we are?
I think so. We'll see. And I might know it up here, but then speaking it is a different thing.
Okay,
so.
Cool. That's why we're doing it. All right, here we go.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Mia. I will be your 6th yoga teacher today. Started. So we will inhale and reach the arms high. Oh wait, Chris, are we in chair first or just?
Yeah, let's start from a forward fold, and then you'll go right to chair, back to a fold, and then you'll be ready to roll.
Okay, next we'll take an inhale and sweep high. There, bend the knees, sit low. Exhale, forward fold. This time we'll take our hands and put them slightly in front of our feet to ground the feet, ground the hands, roll the shoulder blades onto the back. Or jump back into chaturanga flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Right leg high, toes pointed toward the ground, and then shift the gaze forward and put right foot to right thumb. Into the lunge. We'll start with the lead leg for side forward bend.
Not quite. Oh, yeah, so I think you're in, where are we? Oh, yes, you're just a little, there's a little confusion because we do a side forward bend in the beginning that looks exactly like you're saying, but this one, that's the modified. This is the legit side forward bend, and to get into that one, you got to sweep high first. This is the one like earmark I would put in your brain right now is in this sequence, you step up halfway, and that should then cue the rest of it for you. Does that make sense? So once you step up halfway, then you sweep high, and then you're in it. Okay, so let's go back to down dog.
Okay, so this time we'll inhale and sweep the right leg high, toes point toward the ground, hips straight, then step the right leg up halfway this time to prepare for side forward bend. We'll inhale, sweep the body and the arms high. Then we'll exhale and take a fold, keeping the spine straight, side body down.
Pause there real quick because we just want to set up the arms first. So once you sweep high, the hands go where?
Behind the
Yeah,
back,
yeah, exactly.
right?
Yep. And then so interlace the fingers behind the back.
And keep it long through the chest, and then take an inhale, and as you exhale, bend forward with a straight back.
Yes.
Take a cycle of breath here. Side body's long, grounding through all four corners of the feet. Exhale and release.
How so?
Arms sweep high.
There you go.
Sky reaching high. And then we'll take it into standing twist.
Yes.
So spiral the left arm forward and then the right arm back to the. Then if you would like to deepen, you can straighten the right leg, straighten the right arm back. Feeling the core activation first and keeping the hips forward, square to the front of the room. You can even choose to have your gaze go back over the right hand and release. We'll move into the pinnacle pose of this step, which is revolved triangle. So with an inhale to lengthen, exhale and fold forward, keeping the right hand on the right side. At this point, you can use a block. So there's 3 levels to the block. You can pick which one feels right for you today. Emphasizing here if that feels right in your body. Bringing the gaze up towards the right hand too, if that feels right. Come high to standing.
So from right there, instead of coming high to standing, we're going to transition right to the flow.
Got it. Okay.
So from twisting triangle, inhale, and as you exhale, ground the hands, step back, and I'll let you roll from there.
Okay, ground the hands and step back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog.
There you go.
From downward facing dog, we'll take the left leg high, stay the floor, and then step the left foot halfway up this time.
Do not just fold.
Okay, and exhale and fold. No, swing your. Okay, gotcha.
And lift the fingers, or no, you said to the hips first. So put the hands back onto the hips and interlace the fingers to get long through the spine. Inhale, and with exhale, tilt forward with a straight spine to side forward bend. Feeling the core stay active, long, the spine long.
And make your way to down dog.
Inhale, sweep high. Do a standing twist on the left side. So we'll send the right arm forward and the left arm back. Or you can have the left arm face back towards the wall. Securing the core, activating the core first, and then twisting. Making sure the feet stay grounded and the hips stay square to the front wall. The last point, you can even take the gaze back to the wall, back wall. Inhale, exhale, and release. Set up to do the pinnacle pose on the left side, revolve triangle. So take an inhale to get long. And with your next exhale, hinge forward and drape the body over the lead leg. You can use a block underneath your right arm, your right hand. Prioritizing here the twist. So stacking the left shoulder over the right. If it feels good on your shoulders, you can send the left arm high. The gaze high. breathing and feeling the body for 3,
Draw the hips back, come in half splits.
2,
They'll figure it out. Like wherever they are at that moment, that they can slide a knee and do stuff. If you see someone stumbling around,
inhale.
So let me help you out with this transition because it's super simple. I think you're overthinking it. From that, it's really similar to what I was saying to Elizabeth, which is inhale. As you exhale, release, ground the hands, step back to plank and chaturanga. So you're flowing right through it. Not a whole lot of body part detail. So let's pause. Let's go back to twisting triangle, everyone, and then let her roll through that so it can wire in.
Here, step back to release. Step back to plank. Take chaturanga flow. Inhale, upward facing dog.
There you go.
Inhale, downward facing dog. This time we'll take a well-deserved moment to pause and bend the legs, finding our child's pose.
Nice. Awesome job, Mia. Yeah, it's interesting. Like once you got it, like the flow on the left side was right on. What I would say is, I think your biggest hiccup was just jumping in right to the middle and not having the momentum of going through. Because it seems like once you got in the flow of it, once you got the momentum, you were saying it all. So assuming that is where you are, what I would say to you is sometimes you're almost giving too much detail. And too much detail will just start to lengthen the class out and disturb the flow to some degree. Because there's this beautiful balance that we want to start striking of, I want to give enough cues, understanding the basic body position, how to deepen, what the deepest expression, all mixed with vertical stabilization, without overdoing it, because then it can get very much like an Iyengar style class where they'll give like 60 cues per side, per pose. And it just but the design is not to be flowy. So what I would say is when you get someone in a pose, once you've got them in the basic body position, give 3 more cues before the transition out. And that'll just help work the tempo for you. With that, this is really cool because it seems like it's not, once you knew what to say, once you got that in, it's not now what to say because you have all the cues. Because what I'm really telling you is okay, now don't say all the cues. Just pick the certain ones so that the flow stays going. And then it's not what you're saying, but how you're saying it. The next level for you is to start to inflect the action words to create more energy around it. Now, it's funny because I've said this before, years and years ago, and one of the teachers took that and she started yelling. It wasn't inflection, it was just pure yelling, lift it hard and straighten the back leg. And I was like, whoa, I don't mean that. I mean no, it won't be you, Denise. Engage the core, get a little more energetic with as you ground the feet, the action words of grounding and engaging and expanding. That's where, in your way, you don't it's not going to be my gesticular and overly exaggerated self, but what it'll do is it'll keep everyone more engaged. And what it feels like when you start really emphasizing certain words is that the students feel like you're doing it with them, because what you're inflecting vocally is what they're experiencing physically. Does that make sense? Yeah, hold on, I have trouble hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay, so my thing that I worry about, and I know my tendency, is to over cue. I think about how, and I guess this is being an empath, how bad I would feel if somebody got hurt because I wasn't providing them enough structure and knowing how to do that pose. So knowing that balance, that's why I feel I have a tendency to over cue, because I'm always okay, what if I miss out something and then they hurt themselves because their back is tweaking or going to the side or whatever. So
yeah, knowing if you're giving them, think about the structure of how we teach, how we cue, which is you give them the basic body position, you let them know how to modify and how to deepen. You've just given them in those three segments of cueing everything they need to know to take responsibility for their practice, right? And so more detail, well, and it's really interesting too, especially with beginning people, because like once they're seasoned, like they know how to do it and how to roll. Beginning people, they have less bandwidth for information than more advanced people. So it can actually be counterproductive to them. It won't injure them. I don't worry about the injury thing. Like, you're going to teach so specifically already that you're giving them everything they need to know. And beginning people, what they really need is less but very specific cues. Like, I need to know the basic body position, and I need to know how to modify and deepen, and then some vertical stabilization. So understanding your tendency, start pulling it back a little bit, because it's counterintuitive, but it'll actually adversely affect your beginning students because they're just getting inundated with too much information. Does that make sense? Cool. That's it. I mean, just keep rocking it, because like voice inflection, like punching it in certain places, and then pulling back on some of the cues, and you're off to the races. Cool. Great job. Great job. All right, let's have Bree go. Bree, are you ready?
Hey guys, all right, I'll do my best to not butcher this.
You're all right. We're in the third step.
Okay, so we're on step 3 now, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. All right, so I may have to do this with you guys just to kind of get the memory. All right, so we'll come back into child's pose. Extend the arms. Exhale. And as you inhale, go ahead and come to all fours. Tuck the toes into downward facing dog. And then inhale, sweep your left leg high. And then sweep your left leg to meet your left thumb. Drop your right knee down. Both hands on the inside of your left foot. Send your right leg back. Take your hips a little bit lower. And if you want to deepen, go ahead and bring your forearms down. Work here, or you can tuck your toes under and straighten your back leg. And we'll hold this here for just a couple of seconds. And then go ahead and release. Okay, so place both hands down. Draw the hips back. Straighten the front leg. Hips can stay higher, or you can drop them all the way down to the heel, whichever your body will allow. Flex the toes back. Inhale. Exhale, or if you are comfortable, you could go ahead and go into a full split. Keep your front leg strong. And begin to slide back the knees. And back until you can find a depth that works for you. Inner rotation of the back and thigh. Just enough to hold. We'll hold for a few seconds. And then go ahead and release. Bring the hips forward. Lower lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms high. And then keep your right arm high. And from here, I'm a little lost now. Sorry.
It's all right. So now, did you bring left hand to the knee?
Okay, go ahead and bring your left hand to your knee. Right arm's high. And then
let's do this. Yeah, that's exactly right. But let's set the right hand to the right hip or the glute.
Okay, so go ahead and gently place your right hand to your right hip, on slightly above the glute.
And then yep,
gently bend back.
There you go.
As far as your body will allow.
How do you want them to stabilize this?
Let's see.
Back bending. How about the core? How would you cue the core?
Keep your core engaged.
Yeah, super simple. That's all it. That's all we're looking for.
And then from here, yes, you lift the heart high, gaze forward, arms high, your back legs are strong. Okay. Feel your back bend for just a few seconds. And then release back to center. Okay, so go ahead and exhale. And as you inhale, rock forward into your left leg. Okay. So parallel the body to the floor. Strong back leg. Hold and breathe.
Let's step him back to lunge. It's totally fine if you wanted to do that, but we'll just go straight to the other side.
Okay.
Right? So return to lunge, and then you take them right through back to where?
Step your right foot to your left foot?
Nope. So we're in the house still. We got to balance out right and left. You've done the left side. Now you got to do the right side. So you got to stay in the house and step back to?
Step back to plank?
You could. I would go down dog.
Oh, downward dog, okay.
Yeah.
So from downward dog to plank and chaturanga flow.
No harm. All right, and then from down dog, all you have to do is balance out the other side. Now you started with the left side. I didn't stop you because it doesn't really matter, quite honestly.
Okay.
So now?
So go ahead and, let's see, step your left foot forward? Right foot forward?
Right foot, because you went left foot on the other side. So right leg sweeps high, right foot forward.
Okay, right foot sleeps high, right foot meets your right thumb. Okay. Okay, so find your lunge, ready your legs and your core.
Well, not quite. So what you just did on the other side, the lizard lunge to the half splits to the knee down low lunge back bend, same sequence. Okay. You're just balancing it out.
Okay, so so go ahead and drop your left knee down, and then both hands to the inside of your left foot. Send your right leg back to take the hips low. And if you want to deepen, you can bring your forearms down. Okay, so you can work here or tuck your toes back under and straighten your back leg. And we'll hold this for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Place both hands down. Draw the hips back. Straighten the front leg. Or you can go into full splits if your body will allow it. Keep the front leg strong and begin to slide back the knee until you find the depth that works best for you in this moment. Okay, and inner rotate the back side just enough and hold it for 3, 2, and go ahead and release. Bring the hips back forward to lower lunge. Okay, and go ahead and sweep your arms high. And keep your left arm high. And place your right hand onto your thighs. Or I'm sorry, go your left hand to your left glute. And then we'll go ahead and easily go into our back bend as far as your body will allow. And then heart forward. We'll hold this for 3, 2, 1. And then release and come back to center. And as you exhale, inhale, rock forward into your left leg.
Nope.
Or right leg, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Just one.
Dyslexic, guys, sorry.
No, you're fine. Just there's no standing split. So once you go from just ground the hands and step back to down dog. That'll be this.
Okay, go ahead and ground the hands and step back into downward dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Inhale, exhale to plank and chaturanga flow.
No, so that you could. There's nothing wrong with it, but what'll end up happening, it'll just balloon the sequence so that it'll just take longer and longer. So in this step, we're done with chaturangas and up dogs and down dogs, and the transitions are right back to down dog. So now you've done great. You've done the in-house movements. Now there's 2 more poses left, but you don't do them in the house. So you got to get out of the house somehow. How would you do that?
Walk or step your feet up to the front of the mat?
Yes, awesome.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and walk or step or float your feet to the front of the mat. Go ahead and place your palms on your calves. Inhale, and as you exhale, lift your hips.
No, you've already fulfilled the hamstring responsibility with the halves and full splits. So from here, all we're missing is a balancing pose and then the pinnacle pose. Those are the next 2 poses.
Okay.
Do you remember the balancing pose? It's a type of bird.
Into crow?
Nope.
Or
Eagle.
eagle, okay.
All right, so how do you get them there?
Let's see. Okay, so inhale and lift the upper body.
Sweep high.
Okay, so sweep high. Go ahead and take your right leg.
Start with the arms first.
Okay, so go ahead and take your arms and wrap them around, and then take your left leg and wrap it around.
Right. Start with the right. Start with the right side. So right arm under and right leg over.
Okay, so right leg over to the left leg. And make sure you level the shoulders and your hips.
Nice.
And squeeze and engage your core. Hug the center. And then sink a little bit lower towards the end if your body will allow it. And then go ahead and release. Arms sweep high. And we'll do the opposite side. Arm wraps around, and then take your left leg and wrap it around your right calf or right ankle, whichever your body will allow.
Sorry, he was using it for Nero. Is that what you said?
And engage your core squeezed into the center. Lower your hips just slightly, just to increase that challenge a little bit. And then go ahead and release. Okay, so yes, arms sweep high. And then we exhale and fold forward.
Ooh, not yet, not yet.
Oh.
Last pose of the step 3. You guys are doing that super synchronized, by the way.
Okay, so go ahead and sweep your right arm down and grab the right ankle, and pull back.
Yeah, kick back.
Kick back, and we'll come into standing bow. And go ahead and release. And then we'll do the same thing with the left leg. Grab the inside of your ankles and kick back. And then go ahead and release.
All right, now step 3 is done, but we finish in child's pose. So let's get them to child's pose, and then you'll be all done.
Okay, so go ahead and sweep the arms high. Forward fold. All right, hands to the mat. And you could either walk back, jump back, or float back to downward facing dog.
If you're going to walk or jump back, it'd be into your flow, and we'll meet in down dog. But I would say walk or jump back and chaturanga, inhale up dog, exhale down dog.
Okay. Chaturanga, inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Go ahead and lower the knees to the mat. And we'll then back into child's pose. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I know I got work to do.
It's all right, Bree. Really, the main thing is like it. It's slow because of the uncertainty of what the sequence is. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a lot better at taking it in than projecting it out. It's just, like I said, I guess it's like a dyslexic thing. I don't know, I guess I just gotta work those hemispheres of doing that perspective, I guess.
Yeah, let me ask you this. When you're practicing, are you practicing and just like going through the script in your head, or are you actually verbalizing it?
I'm probably going through it in my head, which I probably should be verbalizing it more.
Yeah.
So I do it sometimes, but I guess it's just getting past that awkward part of it,
Yeah, and the only way to do that is to verbalize it. This is super. So this is for you, Bree, but it's for everybody. There will always be a disconnect. You can read this thing every single day, all day long for the rest of your life in here. Until you speak it out, there's a different chain reaction in the brain to verbalize it. And if you're not practicing that, then it's one of the reasons why you feel the discomfort of just not knowing. And so from here forward, no more reading it without saying it. If you're reading it, say it out loud, and because it's the next level. We've had this so many times. People are like, man, I read it every single day, and I just don't feel it. And it's because you're not verbalizing. So that's the next level. Because all the things I'm going to say for you is besides like 2 little bits, is it's simply confidence. and confidence born from saying it so often that you know this is exactly the sequence. Because what's happening is there's a lot of like statements that seem more like questions, right? There's like the inflection is naturally like right foot to right thumb. Like there's an elevation where it just, and that's the way you get that confidence is just doing it time in and time out. It's literally just flight time. John's wife is the best example of this. She's teaching English. It's her second language. She's teaching yoga, which is like, it's beyond me, like the ability to do that. I couldn't imagine trying to teach yoga in Spanish right now. It'd be ridiculous. But so my point is it's a second language. And she's teaching, and she would say knee when she meant elbow. But she was so confident, she had this assuredness about it, that it never dawned on her that she may be saying the wrong word. And what that does for your students, more important than anything else, I promise, is you exuding confidence that I know what is going on. Even if the right you meant to say left, even if it's left foot and right foot. Now, listen, if everything was butchered, like people are going to be like, man, you got some work to do. But my point is, confidence is everything, and that's what your next step is just teaching this out loud as many times as you can so that the sequence is there and what's in here gets out through the mouth. Yeah, you're welcome. Last little bits just as far as patterns are concerned, and I'm pretty sure this is born from what I just said, but there's lots of okays, and it's almost like you're verbalizing the internal monologue, like, okay, now what's next? Okay, what's next? Keep the okays out, and then the next level is go ahead and.
I think the best thing I could probably do is like record myself too. Maybe try to teach it and then go back and listen to.
Yes, absolutely. But do that. If you're going to record yourself over and over again. Again, I like when I want to hit home is you speaking this sequence out over and over again is going to, and that's going to be why when you're like so confident that the okays go away. Definitely watch out for the go-aheads because that can be a pattern that just ends up sticking around.
Yeah.
And the last thing is, like everything else is going to be born from more confidence. You were saying on the right side of things, and we'll hold for a few more seconds. It's too vague for people. On the left side, you clean that up and you're like, and we're going to hold for 3, 2, 1, and then release. Stick with the 3, 2, 1 and not the few seconds. Just as like because it's way better as far as like you're dictating, well, I'm going to hold you for another seconds. Otherwise, like hold for a few more seconds and then I'll meet you in down dog, and you want to be more structured with it. So that's it. You're doing awesome. Keep it up. And once you got it, you got it. It's just confidence. That's all you're looking for. Cool? Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, cool. Leanne, you're next. You're going to go through inversions, and then what's going to be cool is when you guys teach, you're most likely, because where they are, you're going to be teaching to the whole group. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm so excited for both of you. Okay. That was my plan, honestly. That's why I've been waiting for you guys to go. Because you're here, you want to teach? Yeah. It's going to be fine. Okay, Leanne, you ready?
Yeah, I'm going to need a bit of help, probably.
No sweat. You know where we are in the sequence?
I kind of glanced ahead to help me out a little, but I put it away now.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So, we're going to start in child's pose, right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. So, everyone wants to get into child's pose. Okay, so you're going to come up to all fours. And I'm already like blank.
That's all right. So we're going to do a forearm balance.